Hello everybody, my name is Catman and I am on a mission to make my singing monsters in Minecraft. Today we're going to be working on a custom-made island that me and the community are making together called Conduit Highlands. We're revealing a new double element monster along with showing off some of the new decorations I made around the Conduit station. So without further ado, let's get right into the video. The Conduit station has changed quite drastically. So we have these orange trees and we have some overgrown moss areas along with some of the dripstone spikes. I wanted to give this more of a rundown and naturalist feel because I felt like the station was too bland. So I really wanted to add more of like nature kind of growing over the place. So with this change, I've also added critters to the island as well, which I'll showcase in a little bit. They are these glowing orange jellyfish that kind of look like floating lanterns, and I really like the aesthetic of them. I think it's a good vibe and I think it's good for the station, and it adds more color to the color palette. Here's a place where like the monsters can sleep. There's like a painting of some of the old submissions. I plan on adding more decorations in the future. But yeah, staircases are the same. I've knocked out a few places, made some areas on the top level more spacious, so you're able to place more monsters down on the corners especially. If you look up into the center, there is a kind of like a yellowish pinkish cube that pulsates. That is going to be coming from the Conduit, not a Titan Soul or anything. I don't plan on adding a Titan Soul, but I thought it was a cool idea. And also, the main reason why I wanted to have such a big change in the island was that I needed more colors. It was very bland, very metallic, and I just felt like adding these oranges and pinks and the northern lights, kind of the auroras and stuff, having the greens. I think it would give a good color palette for future future monster designs. So yeah, that's kind of the main change, but I hope you all enjoy this new and improved Conduit Highlands. I'm also introducing a mechanic called rare events, and for example, this is one of them. This is the critter migration for Conduit Highlands, and this is a very rare event that happens, and a lot of these will start spawning in when the song's playing, just at any moment. You know, it's all random. And you'll just be able to see all of these guys floating around the island. That was a really cool idea. They come in different sizes when this happens, and they have a bouncing mechanic. So when they hit like the island, they'll bounce off of it, and you'll probably see that. I still need to work on some of their speeds because they can get pretty fast when they start bouncing like really fast. So yeah, it's kind of funny to see them like jitter all over the place. But yeah. Some of you know I released the tracks for the final 3 double element monsters. Since the channel has gained a lot of traction, I think it's necessary to do a rerun of the competition of submissions. So you will be able to create a concept design of a monster and have a chance of it becoming an actual design that I animate and implement into the Highlands. Here's how this will work. There are 3 monsters that need to be made to complete our double element list. We have Conduit Wind, Soul and Wind, and Conduit Soul. I'm taking Soul Copper off of the list here so I can work on it in tandem, but here are the guidelines. For each design, you are allowed up to 2 submissions. They can be submitted as a YouTube post or in the Discord under Monster Submissions. You can access that channel by reacting via a ghost in the competition pins. Your design art must include the elements either in the description or on the paper so I know what monster you are submitting for. Now, before we get to work, there are a few rules. Transparent parts on monsters are highly unrecommended. Examples include things like stained glass or Ermagurdy-like monsters. Please stick with opaque or solid monsters. Glowing, emissive parts, and floating parts are allowed though. Submissions can be hand-drawn, 3D modeled, or 2D art. Any medium has an equal chance of winning. It's the design that counts, not the art. Some of the previous winners, like Lepintage and Rhodolite, were sketches made with crayons or colored pencils. Now, here are the new rules for the submissions that I'm adding in. Please refrain from making any monsters that have mechanics already introduced by existing monsters. For example, lighting up to play an instrument is kind of Glowlix's whole thing, so I want each monster to be unique from each other. There's some really cool concepts I know all of you can cook up. You should refrain from making completely robotic creatures or ghosts. It's my mistake that I made the elements encourage this, but I really like to see some creative ideas that don't revolve around everything being made of copper. If you have trouble with kickstarting ideas, I actually do have some for you. Here is the current color palette of our monsters so far, and here is the color palette of the Highlands. With the new changes I made in this episode, we have a lot of potential for new colors and thematics. Oranges, greens, pinks, and purples, and dark blues from the midnight sky and lights. Just some ideas. For Conduit Wind, some designs I could imagine fitting well is some sort of half insect, half acoustic guitar, where the legs and the hands pluck the strings, and like the whole of the guitar could be its mouth, maybe with teeth inside. I don't know, just an idea there. For Soul and Wind, these tracks are quite contrasting with each other. We have a low piano and a high reverbed one as well. Taking this into mind, what if it just wasn't one monster? Maybe a duality type where you have one monster playing the low notes somehow and another monster playing the higher notes, possibly in a different way. For the Conduit Soul, this one is the one I am most excited for because it sounds so different from the other instruments. Maybe we can lean on that detail in a way, like what if this thing mimicked the cosmos or the stars somehow? Some ethereal looking creature, I'm not sure. The 3 winners will be credited and mentioned in the map. Be sure to add your handle or any socials you want attached to your design so I know how to credit you properly. The deadline will be May 31st for all 3 monsters. That is about 2 weeks, so there's plenty of time. If you have any questions, feel free to reach out in the comments or in the Discord. All submissions are welcome as long as they are appropriate. Don't get imposter syndrome. All submissions are solely reviewed by me. I don't judge based off of quality. I only judge based off of the design and how well it can play the part. Have fun, guys. That is it for today's episode. I will catch you in the next one.